Hello friends, welcome to Java Interview Questions chapter number 3. Today the topics are abstract class, interface and concrete class. So what are the questions can come from these topics? Let's see. So what is abstract class, what is concrete class and what about interface? These three questions are very important for freshers level. Next 5, what is the diamond problem? How it is resolved in Java? Can you create instance of abstract class? Can abstract class have constructor in Java? Can abstract class be final in Java? What do you mean by abstract method? So these 5 questions are very important for 2 to 3 year experience. Now the other 3 are important for 3+ year experience. Can abstract class have static method in Java? What is the purpose of constructor if you cannot instantiate abstract class? Difference between abstract and interface. We will discuss to use abstract class and when we need interface. So before that, we'll see the puzzle I have asked in my previous session. So the puzzle was I was having two class my test and my test one, and my target was to run both the classes in command prompt using a single line. So Java my test one. So the output is only hello. It ran only my test and avoided my test one because whatever you provide after Java my test, that is plus class, whatever you'll provide that will consider as an argument, not a class. So it ran only hello. Okay, so we'll move to the session now. The first is what is abstract class? An abstract class can never be instantiated. Its mission in life is to extend it. So you can see this example, abstract class employee, and I have two variables salary employee ID and two methods calculate salary and get date of joining. So as we said, abstract class mission in life is to be extended. So we'll provide two subclasses like manager and engineer, and that will extend employee. Now it is defining a rule that manager and engineer has to be followed. Now when you want the salary of a manager, you will create a object of manager and you can write manager dot get calculate salary. So it will calculate salary for manager. Same if suppose you want the date of joining of an engineer, you will create an object suppose E1 engineer 1, and then you'll call engineer1 dot get date of joining, so you'll get the date of joining of engineer1. In this way abstract class we can use. So what is concrete class? It is simply opposite of abstract class. Concrete class is a default class or a derived class that provides the basic implementations for all the methods that are not already implemented in the base class. It is simply whatever you declared in the abstract class, in concrete class, that is the subclass, you will define all the method which you declared in the abstract class. So concrete class is just a simple class. It's not an abstract class, it's not an interface, a normal class. What is interface? Creating an interface means you are defining a contract for what a class can do without saying anything about how the class will do. So only declaration will be in the interface. And if you are declaring any method, the compiler will automatically take it as an abstract. That means you are only declaring, not defining. Let's see this example. So you have created an interface vehicle and you declared an variable average speed, that is 40. That is a constant. That means whatever you will declare in the interface, it will be constant. You cannot change it because what compiler does, we'll see here. So compiler creates public static final. You can see static final. That means average speed 40 value is final. You cannot change it. Same way for the methods, public void speed, that is automatically converted to abstract. Compile the class, it creates a abstract. So whichever class will implement this interface has to define the method which is declared in the interface. So let's see public class car implements vehicle. Then in that case, speed and number of tires should be defined in that car class. Why use Java interface? There are mainly three reasons to use interface. It is used to achieve fully abstraction. By interface, we can support the functionality of multiple inheritance. So actually, in Java, there was no concept of multiple inheritance. So in the case of class, suppose you have abstract class and a class extends abstract class. So a class cannot extend more than one abstract class. That is, multiple inheritance was not possible through class. And why it is removed from Java? That is because of diamond problem, which we were having in C++. So automatically the question will come, what is the diamond problem? So if you say about diamond problem, it will definitely ask you what is diamond problem. The importance of it can be used to achieve a loose coupling. That is fine. So let's see this diamond problem and how it is resolved in Java. In this diagram you can see class B and C that derive from the class A. We have class D here that derives both from both B and C by using multiple inheritance. So now when we instantiate an object of class D, any calls to a method definition in class A will be ambiguous because it's not sure whether to call the version of the method derived from class B or class C. And this problem is resolved using interface in Java. Rules of using interface. Method inside interface must not be static, final, and native. If you define the method static, final, that means that method cannot be override. If you define a method static final, it cannot be override. And native also you cannot use. All variable declared inside interface are implicitly public static final variable. So we have seen in our example that we declare one average variable here and it converted automatically to static final int. All methods declared inside Java interface are implicitly public and abstract even if you don't use public or abstract keyword. That also we have seen. Interface can extend one or more other interface. So there is a basic rule. If you are extending a class, so suppose you have class A and class B, so you'll write class A extends class B. If you suppose have interface I1 and I2, you'll write I1 extends I2. But if it is a reverse, suppose you have a class and you want to take the properties of interface, in that case you'll write class A implements I1 interface 1. And you can also write class A implements I1 comma I2. That means you can implement more than one interface. But reverse is not possible. Interface cannot implement a class. Interface can be nested inside another interface. We can have a nested interface, that is not an issue. So next is, can we create instance of abstract class? And the answer is no. Instance of abstract class in Java is not possible. Even if your abstract class don't contain any abstract method, you cannot create instance of it. So let's try this in Eclipse. I have an employee abstract class. So here I have two variables, employee ID and two methods, calculate salary and get date of joining. So we'll try to create an object. So we'll define like employee emp equal to new employee. So here if I write employee, a compilation error. So if I put the cursor here, I'll get cannot instantiate the type employee. So hope it is clear now. Cannot instantiate an abstract class in Java. Next question is, can abstract class have constructor in Java? So automatically question will come in your mind. If we are not able to instantiate an abstract class, what is the use of constructor in Java? But the answer is yes, we can declare and define constructor in Java. Constructor can only be called during constructor chaining, not for creating instance of abstract class. So if you have viewed my previous session of constructor, you probably know about constructor chaining. So using superclass, we can go to the superclass constructor. So suppose you have created one constructor in your subclass, so automatically the compiler will call your superclass constructor. So in that time, the constructor is required. So abstract class can have a constructor. Can abstract class be final in Java? No, abstract class cannot be final in Java. Making them final will stop abstract class from being extended. What do you mean by abstract method? So an abstract method is a method without body. So you just declare method without defining it and use abstract keyword in method declaration. So this is the example for that. We have public abstract void cal salary. So we are not defining it, we are just declaring it. So in the subclass, we can define the calculate salary. I hope you have seen in the example when I defined abstract class. Abstract class have static method in Java? Yes, abstract class can declare and define static method. Now this is very important. What is the purpose of constructor if you cannot instantiate abstract class? I have explained in my previous question where where the question was, can we have constructor in abstract class? So here is the full answer. A constructor in Java doesn't actually build the object. It is used to initialize fields. So imagine that your abstract class has fields x and y, and that you always want them to be initialized in a certain way, no matter what actually concrete subclass is eventually created. So you create a constructor and initialize these fields. That's fine. Now, if you have two different subclasses of your abstract class, when you instantiate when you instantiate them, their constructor will be called, and then the parent constructor will be called and the field will be initialized. If you don't do anything, the default constructor of the parent will be called. You can use the super keyword to invoke specific constructor on the parent class. So what is the difference between abstract class and interface? Abstract class can have abstract and non-abstract method. Interface can have only abstract method. We'll flip to Eclipse and we'll try a non-abstract method. So if suppose you want this to define, you can define it. The compiler will not give any error. So you can write this. But I have an interface also. So here if you do like this, that means you are defining anything. In that case, it is not possible. So what error you will get? Abstract method do not specify a body. Oh sorry, we can remove this because it is an interface. No need to have this. Okay. Now also you will get this error because interface automatically any method declaration will be abstract, and in interface you cannot have method definition. Second is abstract class doesn't support multiple inheritance. So you cannot extend two abstract classes. But in interface you can extend, that is you can implement two interfaces. Abstract, abstract class can have final, non-final, static and non-static variables. But we have seen for interface, whatever you will declare, it will be whatever variable you will declare, it will be static and final. Abstract class can have static method, main method and constructor. Interface can't have static method. Even main method or constructor also not possible in interface. Abstract class can provide the implementation of interface, but interface can't provide the implementation of abstract class. The abstract keyword is used to declare abstract class, but in the interface we use interface keyword. This is a simple example of abstract class, and here is a simple example of interface. So we can simply write void draw, it will automatically add public and abstract with this. Here we can write public void draw also, but in that case we have to define. If we are adding abstract, that means we cannot define that method. In the subclass we will define the method. Now, when to use interface and when abstract class? This is very important question, and it is basically for 3+ year experience people. So when we add a new method in the existing interface, it breaks all its implementation, and you need to provide an implementation in all client, which is not good. By using abstract class, you can provide default implementation in superclass. So in that case, abstract class is fine. We can use abstract class. But in this case, if we use interface, then in all the subsequent classes or all the child classes, we have to define the method, because we cannot define the method in the interface. So now when we need interface, we'll go to the Eclipse and try to understand when we need interface. Let's create two class. One we will create actor and one will create director. And we can have also actor as a director. That means we will create one more class, actor director. So we have three. We'll make all these abstract. We'll make this actor class also abstract, and this director also abstract. So let's have a direction is one method inside this direct inside this director class, public abstract void direction. And in actor class, we have a method acting. Now suppose I want actor to extend both actor, comma, director class. So this is not possible. But suppose if it is, if both the actor and director is an interface. So now this is interface. Now if I implement these, this will work for me. So I'll get both the acting and director method in this. So this is the advantage of using interface. So in that case, if I use abstract class, that is not good. So hope it is clear when to use interface and when to use abstract class. We'll see what is the puzzle in this session. Puzzle for this: man lives on the floor of a building. Every day he takes the elevator to go down, go to the work or shopping. When he returns, he takes the elevator to the 7th, 10th floor. He hates walking. Why does he do it? So while coming down, he comes from 10th floor, but up he lift till 7th floor, but not for that. So just think about the answer. I'll definitely explain in my next session. So topic for the next session is object cloning in Java. This is very important and very simple. You'll understand it easily. We'll see this topic in the next session. Thank you. Have a nice day.